could impact their opinions about this case moving forward. So let's take a listen to that line of questioning. Again, this is juror number 4. They were dismissed in this case because of a strike from the defense. But here's this line of questioning related to their own personal experience with martial arts and how that could impact this case.
All right. So I'm going to skip forward a little bit, and you referenced it in your in an earlier answer you gave me too. You have some training in the martial arts, kickboxing?
Yes, sir. I've done a little bit of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I've done some Muay Thai, some striking.
Okay. And how long have you practiced that?
I did it for about a year, mostly of the striking. Did some Jiu-Jitsu for about 2 months.
Okay. And did you achieve a certain level?
I was about 1 test away from getting my green sash. I was orange sash in Muay Thai. And then with the whole COVID thing that happened, when it took like full effect towards January or so, I became full-blown to working instead of attending the gym, and I just never went back to accomplish that.
Okay. Is it something you want to go back to?
Yeah, definitely. It's a good hobby, and I enjoy it.
Okay. So, reflecting back to an earlier question, the questioner asks you if what you had heard or knew about the facts of this particular case. And something in your response struck me is you said the cop performed an illegal tactic with his knee across the neck.
Yes, in the video it looks like his knee is a little high. So with that being said, isn't the tactic supposed to be knee across like the shoulder blades?
So that's obviously one of the things that we're going to be discussing throughout the course of the trial, right?
Yes, sir.
So, but you used an interesting word in your response, which was an illegal move, right? What standard would you be applying in terms of the legality of a move?
Well, I guess the black and white fine print of, I guess, what they, to my knowledge, what would be in their, you know, well, I don't want to call it a handbook or their training.
Okay.
You know, from what I was just seeing in the news and stuff, and then just seeing, you know, the video from the angle that was showed on the news, it does look a little rough, in my opinion.
Okay, and that's, I appreciate your honesty, okay? So, I guess my question is that you will hear evidence, if you are seated on this jury, you will hear evidence from people in the Minneapolis Police Department about their training and their train their officers. That may be different from your personal training.
Oh yeah, if I, you know, if they could educate me on what the fine print is in a situation like that, I'd be open ears to hearing that, and I would feel more educated myself, and that might change my opinion on what occurred that day.
Okay. So I want to make sure that what you would apply would be the Minneapolis Police Department's standards versus your personal experience being trained in jiu-jitsu. You would do that?
I would do that.
Okay. You said in your response that it may change your opinion of what happened. It's fair to say you formed an opinion of what happened here in this case.
There is a little bit of opinion. I believe it could have been handled differently. I believe the outcome could have happened a lot more, you know, there could have been a different outcome in my opinion.
Okay. The questioner asks for your perspective on Mr. Chauvin, and you indicated it was a very negative opinion.
I would say what I've seen, yes, I formed a, I wouldn't say very negative, but I would say the way he handled that situation struck me as very negative.
Okay.
But like I said, if I'm, you know, more evidence and I'm educated more on the situation, I would feel better myself too about the opinion I'm creating of him, because I know nothing about this man.
Okay. Well, what you wrote in your questionnaire, and I understand I'm not trying to trick you, but what you wrote in what your questionnaire is that they took the law into their own hands.
Well, yeah, if a guy's, sitting there telling you he can't breathe and, you decide, a man ultimately lost his life that day. And so, earlier I was hearing that you have the right to, a trial and stuff. He didn't make his, court date.
Okay.
His fate was decided on the street that day, unfortunately, due to either, the certain circumstances. I'm not too sure of the